It's the final day of Electric Picnic, but it's the most important day because it's the day that the National play, and I'm joined by Matt and Erin. Hello, guys.
Hello.
After a week off, a very rare thing for a band at your level, you've just come back from New York and a bit of downtime with the families.
Yeah, I actually was in New York and then I went to North Carolina and went fishing with my cousin. It was really relaxing. So, in theory, we should be at our best today because we've rested.
I like the in theory.
Yeah, we never work according to theory. It's nice. We had a few days off, so we are refreshed. But I don't know how refreshed we look right now because we spent a couple nights out in Dublin. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we ruined some of our refreshment.
With our refreshment.
Yes. We're at one of the Guinness estates, so we were drinking the refreshment at the source or whatever. But it was amazing.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Good. So, does Ireland have a special place in the National's heart?
Yeah, I mean we had some of the gigs that sort of, I would say, sustained us or kept us, believing in what we were doing. And we went through a lot of phases where I can't say we ever doubted it, but there were dark times, in the early years of it, just traveling and touring and not really having an audience. But Ireland, a show we did at Whelan's, I remember just.
For Alligator.
I think it was, yeah. It was one of those shows that just injected us with faith, and that what we were doing was worth it. So
that gig in Whelan's is a bit of a mythical gig. It's always the musos that start talking, and I wasn't able to go. I was on air, but everyone's like, "Oh, it's incredible!" And Abel was the single at the time, and then that sort of small pocket. The first time you played Oxygen, you were in this small tent, and I think it was 11 o'clock. I think you were headlining it, and it was just magical. And from then on in, suddenly it just took off in Ireland, and the next show was the Olympia.
I think we've had such a great development here, and I remember we played the Olympia twice the first time and 3 times the second time or something, and it's one of our favorite places to play. And you can, whenever you get there, the audience just sings. I know this is a Irish thing, but they sing the songs almost louder than we can sing them, and at the end of a song, you just get this roar back. Hopefully we'll still get that tonight if they like this album.
Oh, you'll get that tonight. Definitely.
Yeah.
Does it help you, Matt? Does it throw you ever?
Singing?
Yeah.
No, I take a break and the singing is awesome. There's a few songs we have that have mixed time signatures that sometimes the clapping will start, like Fake Empire is one. There's 2 different rhythms that are going on in that song, and they shift, and sometimes the clapping is doing one where, and I'm not actually very good at recognizing which one I'm supposed to be on either. So
the audience
I will usually go wherever the audience goes, and that's often not the correct beat.
Especially after a bit of Guinness refreshment.
Yeah. So, but I think the nice thing is that the only people that notice, I think, is the guys in the band. The audience and I are all one on the one.
And you and Bryce and everyone are like, Matt, come back to us.
It's actually funny. I think your perspective is strange because the clappers are always with the band and they're always in time. But then
how am I not with the band?
Because you get confused.
Oh, you know what it is? Because I am singing off. My rhythm is different from the band is. See, different drummer.
See, there's so much going on. It's very complicated. It's not just being rock stars. Yeah. That's hilarious. I love the idea, though, that the Irish audiences are singing properly but clapping at a time. So we're going to work on that for tonight, definitely. Now, I have to ask, from the point of view of lyrics or sort of songs of pride of place. I always people always talk about Nick Cave maybe and the Ship Song or Into My Arms, and it's a very popular muso first wedding track. And I think that has been replaced by Slow Show for a lot of people.
Really?
Do you know that?
We have had a lot of people talk about that song. Some of it, I think, is one of the few songs that doesn't have like a dark side to it, really. So it's for people with weddings and stuff who are big fans. It's like one of the only ones they can use that doesn't like put a curse on the wedding, I guess. But it's like Leonard Cohen. There's like a lot of people really love to want to do a Leonard Cohen song at their wedding, but there's only one of his songs that really can work because it doesn't have sex, and it doesn't have, something twisted happening in the song that you can play. It's but anyway, so I think that Slow Show might be our version of that. But
Truly deeply romantic.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you ever worry, though, that with happiness and success, that sometimes that's going to change the future of albums? So many artists that people love them because of the darkness and because of the despair and the pain. And, I've heard a lot of people over the years talk about the fact that if they didn't have breakups, they would have no material. So what happens then when you're happy and successful? Do you worry about the writing?
No, I don't know. As far as I've been happy for a pretty long time, and even though the songs go into sort of dark places and stuff, it's I still, I have moments where I'm down, but it's fun to like sing about that kind of stuff, and in a way to wallow in whatever, just shine a light on those sort of like dark sides of your brain and stuff. But actually, I'm responding a lot to the music, and I think a lot of the music that those guys are giving me is loaded with certain emotions and stuff. So
is that the process? You're together so many years now, and how does it work when you create a music bed and that strikes a chord with you, Matt, for lyrics?
Basically it all starts with we call them sketches, but they're basically songs without lyrics. So there's a form, and there's a verses and choruses, and kind of you write something that for whatever reason tugs on. I'll write a lot of it, and they feel like they could be national songs. I write a lot of things which feel like they won't be national songs, and I do something else with those. But so my brother and I give Matt 100 of these sketches, and then he listens to them and he figures out which ones he might have ideas for, or that stylistically or aesthetically kind of strike a chord with him. And then it's a really gradual process where eventually the band starts arranging things, and Matt has little pieces of lyrics or pieces of melody, but basically we back into the songs at the very last minute. So we'll kind of like be working until for a year, and then eventually we carve out some kind of song out of this big block of stuff. But nobody comes in with like a song and says, let's play this song. It's more like it's a scavenger hunt.
The way you describe it, though, Aaron, it makes it sound like you guys have loads of time off, which I know you can't possibly have.
Well, after I guess we kind of left the road for about a year and a half. We were doing some shows, but to make this record, we were home 80% of the time for about a year and a half, I guess, right? I don't know, something like that. We were just digging in and just kind of all in our own little zones and just working almost that whole time. And it was a very, very slow process. But
You've done something that everybody wears. The Boxer was so huge over here. Everybody was so in love with it. And I think there's always a nervousness when you love an album so much, you go, they can't better it. It's not possible. But you did. And people have just talked about the confidence of the album, the space, everything. It's quite extraordinary. You must be very proud of it.
I think the thing that made High Violet work is because Boxer was embraced, and the record before that was actually embraced, but they were sort of different from each other. And I think what we learned with Boxer is that we don't have to chase some sort of sound that was specific to us. We could kind of experiment, and as long as we were excited about the songs and different kinds of songs for us, that's all that really mattered. And so this time that's what we did with High Violet. We just kind of chased our whims, and we had faith that that would probably work. And
the faith was right. So I know you have to go out and see the field, and I'm dying to see you on the main stage. What are you going to start with? Main stage is a big deal. It's not a tent. It's not in anything. You've got the whole picnic at your feet.
It's funny. Sometimes we haven't decided, but it is usually when it's not in a tent, we choose to start with something a little bit more direct. But when it's in a tent, then sometimes we'll start with something really quiet just to clear the mood. But I'm not really sure. Maybe
Okay.
Ghost. Maybe anyone's Ghost.
Oh, great. The current single. Okay. Well,
I
listen.
doubt it. I think it's going to be something else.
They're fighting already.
An a cappella, jig.
Matt and Erin, the National, thank you so much for talking to us. I'm really looking forward to later.
Thanks.